Ready. Welcome everybody to session number 5. Looking back to last week, we or not last week, last time, you guys had, let's see, end of session 4. I took care of the crazy piano and you went out adventuring and doing some further investigation because one of Heaston's sons had shown up and requested your presence. Come see him, his father, and you, after wandering around town a little bit, stopping by the church, stopping by JD's to put down money for rent on the house. Now that you've mostly, at least figured out how to kind of shake up the spirits, if you will, within. Then eventually did head to Jeremy Heaston's office and had a chat with him and found out that he's well aware what goes on in town, and including yourselves and kind of what you've been doing, what you're looking for, and things like that. Offered a little bit of information that he had, and I think he kind of provided a little bit further leads. Yeah, which sent you to the Aspen Lounge, actually, because he mentioned a agency-issued weapon that likely was related to Buckles, or potentially, having a agency-issued weapon, knowing he was with them, and that Elmer Blaine at the Aspen Lounge had been seen to have one. And so he went over to see Elmer and walked around that bush, trying to find out if he actually had it. But yeah, I think there was no confirmation at all, right? Even with
to point out,
Bobo,
we went into a dive bar in a Western and did not get in the bar fight.
It was the middle of the day, so it was pretty pretty empty.
Not for lack of trying.
It's true.
Is that pointed at JT? I think that was pointed at JT.
No, it's
drag Bubo into this.
It's pointed at the mechanical owl.
Yeah, so with some attempts of some espionage and whatnot, a few games of cards as well, just trying to figure out what you're going to do. You decide to head out, maybe come back when it's more lively and maybe there's a better distraction, but you just could not really get anything out of Elmer that would have proved to be helpful. I think from there, was it right to... Oh, you went to the assay office and talked with... I forget the guy at the assay office.
To point out, I did not get in a fight at the assay office either.
Right. But
also
close
not for
again.
lack of trying.
Yeah.
The bar is really low, it feels like.
Oh, there it is. Ned Little. You talked with Ned Little and kind of understood that it seems like he's pretty buddy with Heaston, and you caught him running off towards Heaston's office as you guys left the land claim office. But from there, you went to the Frontier store to try and talk to Mr. Debony, who unfortunately was out. He was over in Fort Bridger, taking care of things over there. So, in the meantime, decided to shop around at their wares and see what they had. Get some barrels and whatnots. Anything quick to finalize that out? What you're...
We let the gentleman from the assay office go and inform Heaston, right? That was the ultimate decision.
Yeah, I don't think you did anything.
We followed him, but we left him alone.
I followed him just to confirm he was going there, but then just let him go.
Yeah, so I think we ended with Mr. Cooper's doing some shopping and
Yep, I bought a new shirt for myself.
Very nice.
And JT headed out to the street seeking a lady or three to compliment.
All right.
Yeah, anything else you guys did want to buy? Quick, I know we didn't really do that offline, but
I think that's all further my $14 is going to go is buying a shirt.
Plus your $10 spiff there, John.
$10.
In the RP, I threw in $10 spiff for you to get something nice.
I don't know what $10 more is going to get me. Let's see.
Bullets.
I got plenty of bullets already.
JT looks like untrained. Give me an untrained roll. Performance.
Untrained performance. The game
Untrained.
is paused,
Oh,
sir.
I think you. Well, does it not let you roll when?
I'll find out.
I think you still can when it is. Either way. Ooh, all right.
Thank
So-
God for that wild die.
Something about your air of foreignness or something. You seem
That's
to
a
have
polite way to put it.
you seem to have some luck with a couple of the passersby that you holler at, and they just kind of fan themselves and laugh and giggle and with the compliments. Ask if you're much of a dancer, and maybe they could see you at. You believe there's a dance hall in this town? There is,
Ladies,
yes.
The question is not whether or not I can dance, but whether or not you can keep up with me and my compatriots.
They just kind of give you a nod and said, well, perhaps we'll see you there, sugar. And you can tell that. Give me a notice roll.
Oh boy. I think I know where this is going. Notice.
Right. So, when they mention, especially when they mention the dance hall, a little bit of their appearance kind of makes sense. They're not in the necessarily the more covered up, full flowy dress that you'd see. They're maybe showing a little bit more.
A little shoulder, a little enhanced bosom.
Exactly. So
a little jump in their step.
You might put a thing or two together about this dance hall.
I sort of mutter under my breath. Well, I guess we're going to find out about the Reverend's commitments to the All-Father, probably. In the near
I'm sorry.
future.
The All Father. What religion do you think I practice here? Well,
The
dancing.
the ladies, they finally wander off and last reply to your comments, JT. I hope to see you there for a quick two-step, he says with a wink.
This is a little bit of a roast.
Well then. Perhaps I'll
No,
bring some
to find
friends.
out.
I don't know that that's on the agenda for today.
I certainly hope our intention today is not to role play us at a dance hall.
At a dance hall?
I think that's an RP downtime thing, Todd. I'm pretty sure.
And deprive everybody of all the fun.
Right? Righty. So, the rest of you, if anyone already has come out experiencing this this masterfulness with his words coming out of the shop with your new goods, where to from here?
Well, we got two options. We can go to the land claim with go find Prospector Bob, or we can go talk with that Ghost Rock gang. That's not the name.
Go
Go
steal.
Steel Gang.
Ghost
Close.
Steel gang member at the jail. I was thinking we'd head to the well, I forgot that the land claim is way out of town.
Oh, so we have
It does
horses.
take us by the Air Force base or the air base.
Which I am damn curious about.
I just pinned
We gave
the
you fair
that map
warning,
again
Todd.
in the in Discord. So
I was scrolling back up to find it. Well, do we want to go? I mean, what questions do we have for Scarlet Kinney?
Well, I don't know that we have any immediate questions other than when Elmer mentioned the Ghost Steel gang, he started getting kind of weird about it. And then
Wow.
also, I think the marshal, when you talked to him originally, thought the Ghost Steel gang might be involved in Buckles' disappearance. And he's got the gun, so there may be some connection there. But I mean, it's probably what, midday. So if we're gonna go to the claim, I guess now's a good time to do it while it's still, get there and back before nightfall. Not sure how far at the scale of this map here. 215 yards is a very random scale.
That is a really random scale.
Looks like it's
I-
like maybe a mile and a half.
it's about a you guys would probably understand that it's about a get to on the trail and whatnot. Once you get to the trail to reach the specific location, it's about an hour on foot. Half that horses.
We have horses for a reason, I guess. So
Yeah, let's go to the land claim. Talk to Prospector Bob.
I don't know if we need to settle up too for another couple nights of stable fees.
We can do that when we bring the horses back.
Yeah.
Also, I thought we paid ahead. Maybe not.
We paid it.
I think JT
That's not
paid
how I
ahead. I
remember
can't remember how much
I forget.
ahead
Yeah,
he
it was
paid.
like a couple nights or just it was at least one good night.
Trying to remember something about a rich man and a needle and the kingdom of heaven. And I'm just trying to piece it together. I'll
That was
check.
not ringing a bell, Reverend. That
No?
was not ringing a bell.
Imagine my surprise. All right. Well, yeah, let's get on the road then.
Now, Todd, is this a scenario where bringing the wagon is potentially a bad idea? I mean, it's a prospector's claim, so I'm assuming we can get to it without hiking through the wilderness. But
Yeah, there's going to be, equipment and things that would, be equivalent in size. So, yeah, you could potentially take the wagon. Certainly.
okay.
Well, let's go to it then. We'll go get the horses and head out of town to the southwest.
The Coopers, I'm assuming, have no objection to this. plan?
No. Sounds
No.
good to me.
All right. So you head to the stables, grab horses and carriage and everything, wagon, saddle up, get ready to head towards this land claim, hopefully to find Prospector Bob. Heading out on towards Tarrytown Bench. You head out going south of Heaston Hill. The The grass hills rise to the base of the Tarrytown bench, good 400 yards away. There's the narrow, dark slab of the bench soars 100 feet straight up. This massive, just physical cliff and crags that are worked by just a hive of miners and newfangled digging machines. It's, as I said, not too long of a trip on the Ghost Rock Trail. About a half hour with your horses. Get out there. And to reach the site, there is, at one point, there is a narrower foot trail that leads up into the bench's slope into a dense stand of pines.
That's got to be the air base.
You're able to, you can just squeeze the wagon in. It's definitely most comfortable single file, and then you're able to get the wagon up just enough. Once you get to the claim, though, it's nothing special. There's a big hole in the hillside with piles of dirt and rock. A beat up mechanical mule with picks, shovels lean on it, and some trash kind of scattered about. You see over in the trees a tent put up together with oilcloth and branches, kind of rigged up out of that. And, lightly smoldering campfire. Everyone, give me a notice roll -2 as you come into the campsite. All right, so we got a fail from JT. John with a raise. Nothing. Fail from team. 0. Right. So, John, you are keeping a good lookout, and you notice behind this mule, mechanical mule thing, looks to be barrels of shotguns that are kind of poking out from.
Barrels with shotguns poking out
Shotgun
from behind
barrels. Shotgun barrels.
Oh,
barrels.
okay.
So it's not a
I was
barrel
like,
of shotguns.
A barrel of shotguns. I was like, well, it's our lucky day, boys. We got ourselves a barrel of shotguns we can take. I was like,
This is way worse. This is way worse.
all right. Just imagine just a barrel just with a bunch of shotguns sticking out of it now. Yeah, so
You thought
John,
the bartender, the machine bartender was bad back in Bridger.
got a barrel full of shotguns. John noticing that's going to just sort of quickly put his hands up and just go, whoa, easy there. We're just looking for Prospector Bob. He's gonna put his hands up to kind of, indicate we're not here to kill anybody.
And one of the barrels moves, and then a figure kind of steps out as a few others pop their heads up, and the lead figure just steps out and just says, "If I said it once, I done said it 100 times. I ain't selling. You can go tell Mr. Heaston, or I'll pepper your backsides."
We ain't here at the behest of Mr. Heaston. We're no friends of his.
Kind of gives you a squint of the eye, questioningly. Give me a persuasion roll. See him think on that for a quick second. He kind of eyes each of you up and slowly lowers his weapon. How can I be sure? Even if you're not with Heaston, still not selling.
Well, lucky for you, I ain't buying. Looking to find some information on acquaintance of ours, Lim Buckles. Heard he was in business with Prospector Bob up here. Is that you?
You see a little bit of a reaction when you mention his name. He gives a nod. Yeah, that's fair enough. I thought you was Heaston's sons again. Yeah, I was looking to raise some hell. Trying to force me out. Yeah, I know, Mr. Buckles. Yes, I'm Prospector Bob. You are?
Name's John Cooper.
Nice to meet you, John.
And these are the pips here.
I was about to say something.
That's
Too late. We're the Pips.
no, that was an out of character moment. Back in game world, what does Reverend Marcus want to say?
Marcus. You seen Buckles recently?
Not recently, no. He just kind of one night disappeared. Strange fella. He came to town with quite a grub stake and not much experience. My finances weren't letting me live the dream right, so he seemed all right. So I let him buy in on my claim. He's pretty tight-lipped regarding his own business. It's any man's right. He was a good egg. The life out here, full of trials. I think Len just cracked.
Right.
JT kind of pulls down his goggles, looks at the Prospector Bob and said, "Well, clearly those times have changed when you're willing to refuse the money of Mr. Heaston. So you must be doing quite well, Prospector."
Does well enough that there's definitely other reasons to not do business with that man. And he kind of turns back to you, Reverend. I don't know. He just he holed himself up in his house for a week. Wouldn't answer the door. No. Seemingly one night, lit out. Godspeed, Mr. Buckles.
What preceded that self-quarantine?
Couldn't tell you, to be honest. Mostly saw each other here out at the claim. Once he didn't show up, did try to go check in on him, and that was that.
He
And
didn't.
JT will... Go ahead.
No, you're good. I said enough.
JT kind of looks over at Uncle James and says, Perhaps our friend Len had a tighter relationship with Prospector Bob than I thought."
Well, considering that our friend here seems very standoffish, and that he did let Mr. Buckles onto his property, you may be onto something, or work on his property. That is.
Mr. Prospector Bob, it is. We don't really know you, but we're here on Len Buckles' behalf. We are looking for him. It is him that is our primary concern. Is there perhaps some information that you could give us that perhaps could lead us to what has happened to our compatriot?
Take a look inside, huh? Take an accounting, as it were. Mr. Buckles.
It is his livelihood of health, not wealth, that we are interested in.
Well, listen. Fact is, I own this claim now, free and clear. And no offense intended, but I need to know you got nothing to do with Heaston. I need to trust it.
Well, then that's a tall order, sir. How did Mr. Buckles win your trust exactly?
Oh, I suppose it was just right place at the right time. And it's a lot easier to deal with one inquisitive type than kind of does a little nod to each of you. Or
Hell, we have been called worse since getting into town. And as the Reverend's saying that, he'll make the just kind of casually in front of him, make the sign.
no reaction.
God damn it!
You're gonna keep walking around.
Just eventually,
It's going to be the worst
pay
possible
off.
situation.
Anybody?
It's going to be the
Anybody?
worst possible situation.
That's right. There's still a contact. We have no idea who it is. I guess we only actually run. We've only talked to like 10 people though, like in town. So
This is why the CIA writes stuff down now.
right.
Oh no, they're not agency. They're
Secret
the contact
Service.
no, the contact is the
Legion, but I thought they
Legion.
were. I thought they were agency maybe too, but
No,
Buckles is
different.
agency.
yeah. Okay.
Buckles. Scheisse.
He so Bob says, so listen. Y'all look like capable folks. Mostly. He looks at you, Reverend. Kind of catching. Really go see somebody about that.
Yeah. Dr.
yeah.
Kirk, we heard all
Yep.
about it.
Says, well, I
You're
could use
more
some.
in refusal of a hook I don't think I've ever seen in my life. But go on.
I could use some help with the ruffians. We got some ruffians that have been plaguing us. Some of them, I think, are actually out here right now causing trouble. You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. What do you say?
When you say deal with ruffians, you're talking about the elimination of ruffians or just driving them off?
Oh, likely be best for just the latter. Once we likely find out who they are.
We hear there's a couple gangs around the town. Think they may be part of one of them.
No, I don't think so.
Where you think they're coming from?
From town.
Heaston?
Gives a nod.
Well, that's of my convenient. He's to move it in on you like that, and us having a perfect opportunity to bash some skulls to prove to you we're not with him.
You
Seems
know,
a fair enough trade.
you know, JT, he's always itching for a fight.
Well,
Man or bear?
especially Bear.
He'll shoot a bear at the drop of the hat, but he'll try to talk to a damn wolf.
Surprising everyone, the wolves do not speak Latin.
So whereabouts are these ruffians?
Is just up a ways. You're willing to come along? We'll take you there.
Well, shit, I ain't shot anybody in a couple days. I suppose it's time.
Must be a new record.
Anything in the old wagon there, JT, to bring along?
I'm sorry. Prospector Bob was pretty clear we were not annihilating the individuals, so I don't know unless we're going to ask him to drink. Because everything I got back here is going to blow them up, incinerate them, turn them into lightning, or, ruin their ability to reproduce.
Well,
Yeah, we just leave that shit in the wagon then, I suppose.
That last one of Professor what's his face miracles.
Doc Maynard's miracles.
There you
yes.
go. Yeah,
that's
You see-
actually just a
Bob's face is just kind of like wide-eyed as he meant saying this.
They invented a procedure. It's called a vasectomy.
'Cause
I'll
yes,
have you back home tonight, enjoying the company of the woman folk.
well, we hopefully won't be causing that much of a ruckus, though. But if you're ready, we can head out.
Now, what kind of ruffians are these? Are they the heavily armed, shoot to kill kind of ruffians? Or are they the more mischief causing?
Oh, I'd say a good balance, to be honest. Just depends on what side you get out of them. Well, they're the type to try and push their weight around. If you got some weight to push back, maybe rush them out of town and out of here and leave us miners alone for now.
Yeah, I suppose with Heaston, if it's not trying to steal plots of land, it's people's sweet rings. Can't abide by that.
We need to have a talk about priorities. All right, lead the way, Prospector Bob.
Gotta gives a look over his shoulder at this group about to lead in, and so he begins and takes in. Everybody gets a Benny for that wonderful little display there. So, you guys follow along with Prospector Bob, and he takes you about a half mile further into the trail, and a little bit deeper into the area. After about that half mile, you hear raised voices coming through the trees, and Bob, puts a hand up and then a finger to his lips. Slowly, kind of creeps forward. As you get towards a clearing, go give me notice checks all around.
Critical failure. That's new.
Nice.
Put a nice big red box there now.
All right, so just James this time. So, Uncle James, you look out and you see this small mining operation, and looks like there is a small gang of men. One of them that kind of stands out, he's kind of more forward in the group, and then the others that are kind of flanking him. But the one in the front is the one doing the yelling, and they're all on horses, brandishing weapons, and there's 3 miners there as well, holding their tools defiantly. And you notice there's a small little shack. It looks like there's some folks kind of hiding there, kind of peeking out through the window and whatnot. One of the miners kind of steps forward, his attention towards the main gang member there. You got no cause to harass us, Max Heaston. Because that's what this is, harassment, plain and simple. Our claim's in order at the assay office. You got a problem, I say you take it to them.
And Max was the son that we met earlier, right?
Was it?
I got the idea that the guy we met earlier was a bit younger than horseback riding, gun toting gangster. But maybe
I
I'm
remember
wrong.
that from The Office. I don't know if
Well,
I
he
remember
wasn't.
that name from The Office.
Yeah, I don't think the one we met was like a
So
kid though. They were still
okay.
like
It
an
is
adult.
Max. It is Max. It is the same.
Okay.
So you would recognize. So he's about, yeah. He was kind of like around maybe John's.
Oh, so
ages,
he's a fully
20s.
grown adult eating other people's sweet rolls.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's why I say he has it coming, man. He's stealing rolls, trying to steal land. It's time to put some lead in this boy.
It's just not right.
Teach him a lesson.
Well, it
And,
looks like you were
after-
right, Bob. That's definitely Heaston's men.
After the miner kind of speaks up, you see Max just pull his Colt out and aim it right at the face of the miner who has spoke up.
Ooh.
Oh, that's not right. Boo poo. Boo poo.
What? Oh,
He's calling
The
for his owl. All right. How does he look like? Like, is this a threatening, or is he about to shoot this man? I don't see any of this.
Yeah,
Never
you
mind.
definitely don't really. I mean, you kind of, yeah, you're in the back. You see a commotion going on. You don't know really what's going on, but
I'm in the middle of a coughing fit. I can't see
Yeah,
anything.
James and Bob up front would see that he's probably definitely just trying to intimidate and whatnot initially here. So
I'll kind of relay back to the group. Yeah, looks like Max Easton is leading a gang of men to try to force these men out or harass them or something, but aiming a pistol at one of them. Think we should intervene?
I reckon shooting at Heaston's son is not going to go well for us back in town.
No, I cannot.
Concur.
imagine that.
Perhaps Boo Boo can just take the pistol from the man, and we can have a discussion about it later.
I like that plan. Send the bird. Owl.
And set the bird. Okay, so let's see. Summon. Oh, 4 is enough to summon him. Perfect. I'm going to go ahead and pay the extra points for the bodyguard version.
okay.
So that's 4. Full power. Oh, I already made the roll, but let me just subtract the 5 points. There you go. Okay, and so his stats. Clearly, he has flight, right? So, unless he's too far away to close the distance, how do you want to deal with that? He has stealth as well.
Yeah, so distance I won't worry too much about. Stealth might be something you want to go for. Really, the bigger thing is going to be, that attempt at taking that. Does he have something specifically, or wait, thinking like?
He has
Grapple,
the first strike edge.
Okay.
Gives him a free fighting attack against the foe after he moves into reach. So I'm figuring he just kind of swoops in and snatches it.
I know you can do a called shot on an arm. You should do an attack on that, and it's like the equivalent of a disarm.
Character can try to make an opponent drop a weapon. Attempt to damage it by making a melee or ranged attack. First, hit the object or the opponent's limb or hand. So, yep, called shot as you said. Rolls damage. The defender makes a strength roll equal to the damage or drop the item.
So the first step is the fighting roll.
Yeah, so if that's your first strike thing you said?
Yeah, first strike is an edge that says once per round, as long as not shaken or stunned, the hero, or in this case the owl, gets a free fighting attack against a foe immediately after he moves into range, right? So as soon as he closes the distance,
Okay.
it's basically like a surprise attack, I guess.
Yeah.
would be the way to look at it. And he has a D6 in fighting. Do I get my wild die on that?
I don't know if they would as a. I guess you'd have to look that up. Is that in this be in
Yeah,
regular
summon
SWADE
allies,
rules?
Yeah,
As a
summon allies are regular.
okay. And then so first we'll do the stealth.
Okay, so that's a D4. So we'll roll that.
Nice.
Nice. Oh wow. Okay.
Well, does it get the wild die?
Oh,
Is the question.
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the questions you
Oh,
get.
shit.
I remember reading something about. Is it a companion? Is that
ally,
what they're called?
Action.
What's your power called, JT, that you use for that?
Summon ally.
It's got.
Sorry about this, guys.
No, it's fine.
We're all learning the system.
Summon ally.
Yeah, it doesn't say. Google. There. All right. Well, let's just move on. We'll say yes for now, and I can't get rid of a nice old 15. So we'll dig into it and come back. But yeah. So that is definitely very good. That Bubo is. You release him out and pull him out. The rest of you see this kind of clockwork owl again, just clink together. You can hear his soft little ticking of all his parts. And JT sends him up flight, and he shoots up directly above you guys in the trees, and then comes over. And you kind of lose sight of him for a second, and then he comes down, and you see him diving towards Max. Max is still holding his pistol out. Towards the miner who's just sitting there shaking, and he's Max is kind of just yelling at him, and now if you want, have Bubo go ahead and make that attack.
Fighting. Right?
Let's go, Bubo.
I'm gonna leave the wild die in there. Is that okay?
Yes, yep, that's fine. Leave it there. Oh, nice.
There it is.
Okay, so that's definitely, well, that's got to be, I think it's against, you make a fighting attack, so it's a melee attack, and you have to go against their, a 9 should definitely beat their parry. Yes. So you do hit, and then it's, now roll damage. Does it have damage?
The melee attack is strength plus D6. So D6 plus D6.
So actually, let's see. You would have. Let's see. You have to do a called shot. Is it just -2?
I think
I think
was like
Oh no, it's a hand is -4.
Well, change it to a 5.
So which, and you have to beat their parry, which I think you still just do.
Nice.
Yes, you just do. Just beat it. So, okay.
I know. I don't know that I want damage to occur. I think just snatching the pistol out of his hand, like it's the command is get the pistol.
Right. It's so the damage figures if they drop it or not. Yeah. So you are okay. So you've went in for the attack. You're successful with the hit, targeting the hand, because of -4 for a called shot. You attack. Your attack hits the weapon. So roll damage normally for the whatever. Okay.
That's a 9. Because his strength was D6, so that means the strength of D6 plus the D6. I'm assuming.
You roll 2d6.
Yeah,
Is that,
exactly.
okay, yep, so 9. So now Max Heaston has to make a strength roll equal to 9, or he drops the weapon. And in this case, we'll say that Bubo can grab it. The defender must make or drop the item. If the attack is against the wielder as opposed to the weapon, but you're going after the. Okay, so Max Heaston will do a strength. Yeah. That's a big fat fail. Right, so Bubo swoops down, and some of the other miners and some of his gang, cronies they're just kind of like, huh, what? And Max is so focused on yelling at this other miner, and the bird swoops down and just latches onto the pistol and just goes right out of his hand, and he just lets out a curse like, what the? And Bubo then flies off. At that point, the other kind of like gang members, all kind of turn. They all look confused, and then Max just turns around and says, "Shoot that damn thing!" And they
How
all
many
turn
other
to,
How many other men does he have?
there are 5 other gang members with.
We probably should have made ourselves known as soon as Bubo grabbed the gun, where they don't have a chance to do anything.
You could still do that now. I mean,
Yeah, do we all want to get out in the clearing?
Sure.
Yeah, let's make ourselves nice visible targets. I always prefer that.
What are you gonna shoot the dude? You're gonna shoot the son of the guy who owns the whole town? What's
No,
your
we're gonna shoot
plan,
his
John?
friends. We're gonna shoot his friends.
That's somehow not better.
I was thinking more like stay in the woods and start shouting and making gunshots and see if it just drives them off.
That sounds. We don't have time to plan. What are we doing? If you would do something, do something. This is not the Reverend's area of expertise.
are you doing something, Reverend?
If Reverend had a big idea to stand up and get out his cross and say, now
Well, not it.
fellas,
He's not
let's-
gonna do it if everyone else doesn't come with him.
Yeah, all right. Fuck all. James
Come
will
on,
stand and be
Reverend. I
like,
give you a Jesus owl, and you don't even bring the holy light.
Now, hold on, Max. There's no reason to get into a fight. Just trying to get your attention.
John's going to duck off the trail and behind some trees.
Give me a stealth from you, John.
Whoops, that did not work. Is it going to roll?
Seemed like it was lagging a little bit. Rush. There it goes.
He's
Okay.
one of my bennies. Jeez.
All right, Reverend and JT. Bob would have kind of tagged along with you, James, a little bit. You guys were right next to each other. JT and Reverend, any initial reaction?
I'm going. If I see James going, I'm also going.
Okay.
I'm going.
Okay.
I'm following.
So Max Heaston turns, and as you come out, James, and just says, as his cronies are kind of about to like look up, and they're waving their pistols around, but like Bubo's, he's flying pretty good, and Max Heaston turns and says, "Who the hell are Bob? What are you doing up here?" told you to stay back and we'll deal with you later. Is this, and tell your friend to come out from the trees as well. Kind of motions over towards where John's at. Says, is this your idea of a joke? Gesturing towards the owl.
Well, if it's a far sight funnier than trying to swindle people out of their legitimate land claims.
You clerk at the assay office?
Do I look like a clerk at the essay office?
Maybe in a past life.
I feel like there's a "we have God on our side" comment that needs to happen right now. But so as we kind of it's like coming down a hill, Todd, like to where they are, like 'cause we're at a higher elevation, right?
Not much. More within trees, and then it kind of opens up a little bit to like a camp area operation.
I think in this particular scenario, JT's already done enough to disarm the situation. I'm gonna follow the Coopers and Reverend Marcus's lead on this one. I'll just kind of back Reverend Marcus up physically.
Max just kind of continues and it says, this is anything out here is or will be claimed by my father. It's only a matter of time.
Well, that is the note right there. Will be. Until your father owns this land, why don't you head on back to town? Get yourself some drinks and have a nice staying in afternoon instead of out here harassing folks.
Give me a persuasion roll.
Oh, I'm good at these. Actually, hold on. I need to check out because I might actually have a -2 to these.
Okay.
I was gonna mention too
because I'm dead.
the horses have definitely like
They do not like me.
yeah, they're just kind of shaky, and that might actually work to your benefit because they're a little uneasy in your presence, and the gang members and Max they're definitely, that's a little bit taking of their concentration to steady that.
Oh yeah, I forgot they're on horses.
Okay.
If I was a reverend though, or blessed or something, you get like a bonus to some of those like persuasion type things.
No, the bless just gives me powers. I don't think I get anything for arcane background blessed. Yeah, no, nothing like that. Hold on.
Toughness.
-2. Think sleep. What the hell was that? Persuasion rolls to bargain. Their attitudes are generally unfriendly, and persuasion rolls to bargain with them suffer a -2 penalty.
Where's that at? Where are you looking at that?
It's on page 61 in the
61.
Deadlands book.
Okay.
Under what the hell was that?
Common folk. Okay.
Yeah. So I'll roll that -2.
So I'll say though, I'll say that your presence with the horses is helping out, little counteracting here. So just make it a straight.
Okay. All right. Well, that might not go much better. We'll see. I'm gonna spend a Benny.
All right.
Come on.
Oh. He
right.
looks at you and you can tell that he's frustrated and whatnot. And John, have you walked out?
Yeah, I guess John will have walked out at this point as well.
Okay. So as you're coming out, Heaston is just looking, and you can tell that he's listening a little bit to your request, Reverend. Says, I ain't going nowhere till I got my my revolver back. So you better, if that's your little pet, get that figured out real quick. And then his attention kind of snaps. Says, "Oh, Mr. Sweet Rings. This is the rest of your company, I see."
Indeed. Did you come all the way up here for another box of them sweet rings?
No good out here.
It's Mr. Beauregard. If you don't mind, perhaps you could bring that pistol over here.
Oh,
JT
absolutely.
Or John will
Absolutely.
hold his hand out for it.
Yeah, so I kind of whistle to Bupo to land on John's shoulder and drop the revolver in his hand, which he should do no problem. Perhaps we should get our sweet rings back, Mr. Cooper, before we give him his revolver back.
Well, I think those a little beyond return at this point. I think they're already been digested.
Well, that's peculiar. I once knew a gentleman in London who said that there was just the right spot you could hit somebody in the neck that would make them shit out everything they've had in the last 24 hours.
Well, that is just graphic.
That ain't making me want them sweet rings back. John's gonna take the revolver and he'll start walking over to
JT, give me intimidation roll. Like untrained for you.
Yeah, of course it is. Everything I do.
Easton, as he's saying this, you can see he's just like, kind of getting a little bit of red in the face, whatnot, getting very flustered and annoyed here. Because the only one that's going to be having anything come out of him, either end, will be you sorry sons of a, if you don't get me my revolver.
now. Easy now, Max. And John's gonna take the revolver, and as he's walking over to, he's gonna pop the cylinder out of it and rotate it so all the bullets fall out into his other hand as he walks over to him. He'll put the chamber back in, spin it around, and hand it to him, and then he'll take his bullets and like hold out his hand to let if Heaston puts his hand out for the bullets, he'll drop them in. Otherwise, he'll drop them on the ground.
He just looks at you and he snatches the gun out of your hand. Then, takes so basically slaps the bullets out. Well, throws the chamber open and starts reloading them. Just kind of stares at you the whole time, like not breaking eye contact as he's reloading the chamber.
Well, if he's gonna start reloading, then John's going to put his hand on his revolver and just say, Now, Max, the bullets go back in after you've left."
He finishes loading them up, and then he spins his revolver once, little flourish, and then he throws it in his holster. And he just holding eye contact, and then he just yells out to the rest of his gang members, says, "Get out of here, boys!" And as he rides off, he just says, back to the miners, says, "I'm not done with you, Bob. I'm not done with you, and the rest of you. We're just getting started." And hit ya as he rides off with the rest of his crew around the Pine City stage.
Yell off, "We'll be seeing you, sweet rings."
You trying to get yourself shot?
As Max and his gang buddies ride off, eventually a few people come out of the shack, and there's just like murmurs going on now. amongst everyone, like, oh my gosh, can't believe that just happened. And, immediately they just kind of shower you with thanks and whatnot. And Bob comes forward and says, well, yeah, that was certainly a way to handle that situation.
Yeah, that definitely won't come back to bite us later.
I mean, I'm maybe blowing everybody up with your wagon full. Might have been less messy than this.
Well, at least Heaston's son's alive. Can't blame anything else on us.
Yeah, that should be fun for you.
Yeah.
Now, Bob, I have a few questions for you. Now that we've established we are not with Mr. Heaston, perhaps you can inform us on how the other side of the arrangement works. Are you all with Mr. Debony and the Independent Miners League? Or
no.
is this something else entirely?
Yes, this you asking like in regards to his claim and whatnot?
Yeah.
Yeah, he says, as I said, claim's my own. I own it outright. Sorry, let me, my manners. He starts kind of pointing around to the group, kind of cutting off and just kind of deferring the conversation. So this is Tyree Logan here, and one of the miners steps forward. Yeah. Sister Myra, and this is their employee, Mr. Bannister.
Sister as in relation, or sister as in
Relation,
cloth?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And Tyree steps forward, says, really appreciate your help there. A woman comes forward with a couple kids. Says, this is my wife, Jenny, and our kids, Candy and Noon. Appreciate, she, and then, Jenny, says, thank you so much. Maxim is always just, trying to throw his weight around here. Just won't leave us alone.
How often is this happening?
Tyree, is more than we'd like, but we just try and push back a little bit, and it deals. But and Bob, go ahead.
Oh, this is the first time he pulled a weapon on you?
Yeah, actually, he seems to just getting, lost with his patience.
Now, we're not coming to buy or anything like that, but your claim is settled and right with the assay office, right? He doesn't have any jurisdiction to come out here.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. All clear, up and up.
Well,
there's plenty of harassing, and Bob kind of chimes in here and says, yeah, there's constant harassment, actually. It's a lot more than Tyree's letting up on him. Tyree says, well, now, yes, I got no love for Jerem and his sons, but I don't think they're part of everything that goes on out here.
how long has this been going on for?
Well, Maxim coming out, or the nightmare come to life?
Well, we're asking about the former, but you should probably tell us about the latter as well.
Oh, I'm
And,
sorry.
What exactly you mean by that?
I would have assumed that Bob would have filled you in.
You had my curiosity.
John
now
will-
you have my attention.
John will look over at Bob and say, no, must have slipped his mind. He did not mention anything about a nightmare come to life.
Bob gives an eye roll, and at it, and Tyree continues seeing the reaction that he's used to from Bob. It's not some hoax or trick by Heaston's boys or whatever. Just tries to get up and run. It's something going on. Let us come have a seat around here. I know Jenny was just making up some coffee. You guys got a moment? Jenny, please. He heads back to Little Shack and comes back out with a metal pitcher or whatnot, some little camp mugs. Offers it out to anybody that's interested.
Oh, take a mug.
Just to be polite, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep, John will take some coffee.
The way the story goes, back when this place was founded, they called it Tarrytown. Old Standish Epp, who used to own the Frontier store, was from there, you see. Naming it of that reminded him of home. Now Tarrytown is also famous for its legend of a headless rider who plagued the roads at night, murdering the innocent. That evil spirit must have followed them here, or maybe its friends. About a year ago, a band of miners decided they didn't like the Utes around. Killed 2 women, and the Utes responded as you might expect. Indians harried them into a place called Spooky Hollow. Prospectors cooked up a last stand with guns and dynamite, and the Utes snuck in after dark and captured the miners, lopped their heads off one by one, and chucked them down a deep hole. The miners came back. On the bleakest, blackest nights, they ride out of Spooky Hollow, bringing fire and woe, unstoppable. I put 2 slugs in one of them once. Bastards didn't even slow them down. You, any chance that you can help get rid of them horrors? Maybe from there we think of a coherent strategy for Heaston's goons going forward.
Reverend?
Bob is just eye rolling again. It's just something that Heaston's cooking up, I tell you.
Have I heard of anything like that before?
Well,
it sounds
you're sort of sitting
Hello.
next to one. Still got his head though, but
Yeah, but like.
I guess what are you specifically
I
asking
think if
about?
we decapitated the Reverend, he may stop walking. I'm wondering if.
like a
that,
cult
like-
sort of stuff.
I guess if like, does that ring any bells? Like.
The specific instance, I would say, probably wouldn't, given.
Okay.
Because it seems like this is a specific situation here.
Right.
Like if you were from around here, then potentially. If you want to give me an occult check, just in a general sense.
now the Utes, that's a Native American tribe, I assume.
Yes.
They're the local. tribe.
And okay, so just recapping this story, the miners decided they didn't like the Utes hanging around. They went and attacked the Utes. The Utes cut all their heads off, threw them down a hole, and now their ghosts ride out of not ghosts, they're headless
Something, yeah.
horsemen. Headless horsemen right out of Spooky Hollow.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Just wanted to be sure I got everything right.
James, you've probably heard crazier stories. Specifically, you couldn't say like, yes, this specific instance, but maybe over the years and whatnot with your experiences that you've seen stranger things as well. So
Yeah.
Okay.
Suppose that's true as people that work for the Legion. That's kind of what we do, is deal with
Yeah.
supernatural shit. So
Well, all my thoughts are about the conversation I want to have, but these people aren't around.
Yeah.
John's gonna to Tyree and
Love
say,
it. The drums in the background right now are perfect.
Have these horsemen ever attacked or killed anybody up here that you know of, or you just see them?
Oh, they definitely come out and harass us if we don't watch what we're doing. So we just kind of try and stay out of the way. You know, they unfortunately, you know, they're in potentially a good plot of areas.
Now, where's this spooky hollow?
So they give you a description. It's a little deeper into the area there. That essentially, it's a couple miles south along the western slope of the bench, and there's another. It's kind of just a few woods there initially, and then it seems that the trail rises up to these narrow canyons and switchbacks into the Uintas, and there is a high windswept prairie that you do come out on, and then a half-mile distance is the Spooky Hollow area, and it looks like he describes it as like an axe just came down and cleaved the mountain in two. And that's what it is.
So, is he saying like that area would be good for mining? Is that what?
But it could be, yeah.
Okay.
But no one has plots there.
Right. There was a mining camp up that way, but the
Now they're dead.
The situation, yeah, these whatever they are, abominations come out and basically.
Now, what about these Utes? They talkative?
We don't
Do you
see them
see-
around here too much.
Can't imagine why.
When did this situation take place exactly?
Said a year back, right?
So it was around it was around. Yes, it was. You're right. A year ago. Yeah. But it was as far back as when it was founded, but no.
That was just the legend, like started, right? Back when it was founded, because you said the people.
Yeah, way the story goes. Yep.
Okay.
Now,
yeah.
with the Reverend's background, does he know anything about how one would go about getting rid of these restless spirits?
You don't have a cult, right?
No, I got faith, but I don't. Yeah, I don't have a cult at all.
I think that's faith's probably fine. It definitely with your kind of background too. So give me a faith roll.
Nick, you did like exorcism and stuff, right?
Are you kidding me? I'm re-roll with a Benny.
On B10.
There we go.
Nice. All right. Excellent. So with a raise, that's great. So listening to the story and whatnot, it's possible that, there would be a way to put these abominations to rest for good.
You got to salt and burn the bodies, or
but you think about the element that their heads are not there. So oftentimes that in a situation like this, a body needs to be completely destroyed.
So they throw the bodies and the heads down into Sleepy
For the
Hollow,
story, it was just the heads.
But I want to ask, what's his name? Sorry, I forgot.
Tyree,
yeah.
Tyree, when you saw these horsemen, they weren't, were they physical? They have bodies?
Yeah, something like that. They ride out it was tough to tell where their bodies ended and the horses began. It definitely seemed like a physical object.
Centaurs.
said
Cool.
You said you put 2 rounds in one of them, correct?
Yes. Didn't seem to do a damn thing.
Bob, you seem skeptical.
James, did you raise on your check earlier on occult?
Um,
It was a 9.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a 9.
Okay. So another thing that just kind of thinking about this in general is that generally it takes something special to deal with things of this nature. Especially when Kyrie mentions that he put a couple slugs into the beast and it did nothing to it.
well, Reverend, you got any exorcisms or whatnot banging around that head of yours?
Sorry?
I'm wondering if you may have any exorcism or perhaps some sacred rite or whatnot that may deter such creatures.
Well,
Oh,
perhaps we might want to talk about this a bit later.
Fair enough.
Anything, Bob, you seem skeptical about this.
Yeah, I think it's just more foolery by Heaston's boys.
Yeah,
Let's
been up
say,
there to,
head
you
up
haven't been up
there
there
and
to check it out?
oh, no, I haven't, to be honest, but I don't believe in nothing like this, so they be more than safe to just head up there and check it out and put an end to it being nothing more than just trickery.
Tyree, in those old stories, did they ever mention a weakness that rider may have?
No. Certainly not not my slugs.
And how many of them? You saw them, right?
One of them, yes.
You know how many of them there are?
Well, there was I think there was 5 or 6 of the miners that were killed. It's fair to say that there could be 5 or 6 of them.
All right. And so they want us to check this out. What? Just trying to think. What do we get out of that aside from doing our jobs?
So, yeah, you think that you know, Bob is more than going to deal with, because this is you can interpret that this is a little bit related to the harassment that Bob talked about. That, hey, you know, people are harassing us, deal with it.
Ah,
Yeah. So as long as you take care of it, then
okay.
all of Buckle's belongings are yours.
Sure.
Is basically the deal. Yeah.
Bob,
Schmickles.
does this harassment extend to when you go into town to get supplies? Do Heaston's people prevent you from getting anything you need?
No, not really. They just try to come out here and harass us privately.
And they just want you to sell. That's it.
Yep. Want in on it. That's where the money's at. They ain't gonna happen for me.
Now, seems like they got plenty of mines over on the other side of the
bench.
the bench. Yeah, that's the word. Thank you. Plenty of space over there. But has it just been your two claims they've been harassing, or they've been all the way up and down this trail?
Oh, they're up and down, certainly.
Is it just greed? Does he just want more than what he has? Does he want...
He wants it all, right? I mean, you do know that a maxim is a pithy statement of general truth, correct? And that is, Heaston's name. Heaston's son's name. Maxim.
Can't imagine a preacher ever knowing a pithy statement of general truth.
Gentlemen, I'm getting a slight inclination to, just fuck up Jerem Heaston's entire scenario here.
Well, that'll get us run out of town for sure. But,
I mean, they renamed the town once already. I mean, it can happen again.
You aiming to start a revolution, Mr. Beauregard?
I have this problem with overreaching, predatory individuals who want to take freedoms away from other people when they have earned them.
You know, that, out of all the things you said, that makes the most sense.
Well, I don't know if we'll be able to entirely uproot Mr. Heaston. I don't know if it would necessarily be a wise idea to do it. Maybe we can try to help strike a balance between him and the independents and everyone else.
Well, so I kind of turn back to Bob. Bob, I'm still confused. Is Frank Debony an ally of yours against Heaston, or do you see him yet as another problem?
Frank is just kind of a necessary part of business, I guess.
Because he's the only person opposing Heaston.
Oh, he just, he's got a pretty good grip into the Union, so yes, he is opposing Heaston, but
you don't consider him an ally.
He's also fairly connected with multiple businesses and industry within the town, so dealing with him may just be sound like it's just kind of unavoidable.
exactly, and kind of just along the same lines of Heaston kind of doing everything as well. He kind of puts a little finger to his temple, saying, "Yeah, it's just I'm here to just run my claim. What I want to do."
All right. How far away is this Spooky Hollow?
Yeah, the plateau.
This is about a couple miles.
We got time to make it there before dark? I'm not.
Reverend, in
trying
all
to
the
lay an
ghost
ambush?
stories I've ever read, no one ever finds the ghost before dark.
Well, I know, but I figured we'd get there, take a look around, get our bearings first, and then make like idiots and camp out and wait for the ghosts to come.
Fair enough, fair enough.
practical, if nothing else.
Koopas,
Works for me.
interested in a ghost hunt?
If
Absolutely.
well, I don't know if you speaking for both Coopers there, Uncle James. I mean Tyree here just said slugs didn't do a damn thing, and hell, that's I got plenty of them to not do anything. Either you got some ideas. I don't want to go in there just making it up on the fly. I know JT, that's your preferred method, but I'd like to have a little bit more of a strategy, perhaps.
Mr. Cooper, you have both the arm of God and the combined power of modern science at your disposal. And you're worried we can't find a way to destroy a ghost?
I got a couple ideas, John. And
All right. Well, if you've at least got some ideas, we can discuss them on the way and get a plan. JT, I don't know if there's anything back in your wagon we need to grab before we head that way.
do we have to go back down to the main road and then south, or does this trail lead to that
It can both, yeah. Like if you go back around, yeah.
We can kind of hand wave it till we get all the wagon and then head to the plateau. Okay.
do you
Awesome.
got anything flammable in that wagon of yours, JT?
Let me think. I've got a ton of moonshine, some dynamite, lantern oil, a couple pounds of ghost rock. You know, the usual.
Todd, I was joking about salting. Is that something we would actually need?
What?
Salting the
yes.
bodies.
Salt and burn a body.
Oh. No, I don't think so.
Okay,
I
good.
mean, John burned the wolf things after we
Right,
killed them. So
yeah.
that's,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I was just thinking there's this show I used to watch. There's only 5 seasons of it. It's called Supernatural, and it was pretty good for those 5 seasons.
Pretty sure there's more than 5 seasons, bud.
Nope. There's 5.
This seems
Okay.
like a
5
man
seasons.
of conviction.
It's 5 seasons of Supernatural, 1 Matrix movie. That's it.
you don't count the other 8 seasons that came afterwards, or how many there were.
How many Star Wars movies are there?
There are 9, but they're disappointing. Some of them.
No, that's ridiculous. You're
there's only
throwing out
8.
Caravan of Courage and a bunch of other things that need to be acknowledged.
Oh my goodness.
They're on
The
Disney
Ewok.
Plus now.
The Ewok movies. Oh, that's a trip. Okay. Good. So we'll burn the bodies then, assuming
Yeah.
we can find them. At least the heads. At least
If we
need to
can
go
find the
scouting
heads.
around. Well,
we can find
they
him
threw
whatever random hole.
they threw them into Spooky Hollow. Hopefully, we'll be able to find them. I can't imagine there will be a trail of breadcrumbs marked with follow this for a scary time, but I'm assuming there'll be something that points us in the right direction.
Yeah. Just to follow up the Reverend Spooky Hollow comment, I have a distinct feeling that the individuals that live in this county have a deficit in the creative imagination department.
I would agree. They probably not a lot of big readers out here.
I mean, you find that just about everywhere, though. I mean, it's a hollow, it's spooky. What do you think people are going to call it?
That's a good point.
With
How many
that,
spooky hollows are there across this country?
you're thinking of Sleepy Hollow, Reverend.
Well,
I know.
by definition, a hollow is technically any depression in a thing. So there are quite a few. scattered about this country.
I mean, hell, I'm from down in Texas. The river there at the border is the Rio Grande, just big river. I mean, shit. I don't know how creative you need to get with things.
As JT says the comment about a hollow, the Reverend just kind of puts his hand up to his chest, kind of sinks into the shirt a little bit farther than you think it should. Yeah, depression and something. Mm-hmm.
Bob and Tyree give you the last bit of directions to head off to where you need to go. Be on your way.
And I did confirm allies are just extras.
So no wild die.
No, wow,
Right, yeah. I asked online, so people replied back. They pointed me to the basically the stat block for them, and they're statted as extras. Then I also saw 200 mere self. It said it's a clone of the caster, except it's an extra, which would then lead me to believe that all the which makes sense.
Yeah, I figured it probably was fine.
Not a big deal.
Thank you, John.
Yep.
Thank you, Travis.
All right, so you guys on your way?
Yep.
Okay, so you gather what you need. You continue on the trail. It's another 2 miles south of where you were, along this west side of the slopes, as I mentioned. You do come across another small mining camp, devoid of life. Tents and tools all burned up in a fire. The trail from there rises up to narrow canyons and through the switchbacks, and then you do come out on that prairie that opens up. A half mile further is the Spooky Hollow. You can see in the distance, that depression there that does look like, just someone took a massive axe and brought it down to the earth. As you approach it, it certainly lives up to its name. A thin black canyon between the two peaks. And it seems like not even sun can penetrate. The wind rushes down with an agonizing groan, thrashing pine branches and kicking up dust. Here, there is no other signs of life. You get to a point that it's too narrow for your horses, even, and you'll have to go one by one to continue on the trail.
Make sure we bring some. I've got matches. Bring one of those bottles of moonshine. A little bit of a fire starter.
And the dynamite.
If we need the dynamite, I don't think we're making that out of there.
I'd rather have it than not need it.
Right.
Go and bring a couple sticks of that.
Yeah, I'll throw a couple sticks in my satchel, and offer one to each one of the gentlemen.
Maybe don't throw them in your satchel. Just nicely place them there.
Yeah, John. John will take a stick of dynamite, and I guess we're leaving the horses behind because it's too narrow for the horses at this point. Okay, so yeah, I guess we'll hitch up the horses, and John will take the saddlebags off the horse, and to bring his stuff with him, including his rifle.
Yeah. I'll take my doctor's bag and my normal accoutrements, and maybe one length of rope. Lanterns. They don't care about that kind of thing.
Yeah, probably gonna want one to be able to see at night, potentially, depending on how bright the moon is.
Can I see at night? No, that's
I
edge.
can. Yeah, I have my goggles. They'll let me see at night.
I can take an edge that lets me see at night.
Gear.
As we're getting our gear together here, John's gonna mention to Reverend, can you like sprinkle some holy water on these cartridges, or bless him or something? Make him a little more. Do
I
something, anything
can,
special?
I can, and I was about to tell you to stay close. If we do get in a fight, but it doesn't last for very long. So
So I just threw my elixirs in the chat. If anybody wants some of that, let me know. I got a case of one, 2 of the other, and
I'd bring some liquid courage.
you like that?
I might use a little liquid courage.
All right. Yeah, why don't we assume, Todd, that each one of us has a liquid courage?
Okay.
I'll put that in
And
my
then,
gear.
Because I got 10 of those, and I'll take one Samson's elixir with me and the restorative elixir. So I'll just kind of make a note of that. So I'll definitely be, I wouldn't say encumbered, but probably better outfitted than most of the crew. But then we'll head out.
All right. So, what's your marching order as you begin to slide into this narrow part of the hollow?
Someone with a lantern probably ought to go first. Thinking about it, my toughness is 7.
Looks like
Like
you're
the-
leading the way there.
I was gonna say that's likely the highest of anyone.
Looks like
here.
the shepherd will
It's
be
not the
leading the
highest.
flock.
It's
Not the highest. Oh well, aren't you special with your armor?
Yeah, wouldn't buy armor for the rest of us. He wants to be the tank.
I mean,
Yep.
Well,
you can
alright,
also
so-
see in the dark.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that probably is what makes the most sense. I got the cane with the lantern on it, and all my stuff, and I'm setting the pace. I'm plodding along out front.
Okay.
That's great.
Everyone, as you begin to one by one squeeze in here and head forward, climbing up this rocky slope to get towards this destination that Tyree spoke of. Give me.
is Bob still with us?
He's not.
Okay, I didn't think
Yeah,
so.
just you four. So give me athletics rolls, please.
I said Bob wasn't afraid of anything. He should be coming with us. Ba-doo. Raised.
Alrighty, everyone did well. It's not the easiest trek, but you all do well enough to avoid any issues, any bumps and bruises. Coming out with, any signs of fatigue or whatnot from the journey. A good half a mile up this tumbled slope, you do come to the site of the slaughter that Tyree spoke about. You see the area. Give me notice checks. Right, very nice. So, most of you, I think everybody seated at least. So, you look around and a little bit past this area, you see towards the back of the canyon where it kind of ends, there is a tangle of vines and weeds towards the back. You see nearby a spoiled, it looks to be a crate of TNT that looks spoiled. There is, you notice, let's see, James and JT, you would notice as well some corroded guns laying, and then as your eye is drawn to those, you see some skeletons as well.
They missing them skulls.
If you go up to them, they are.
Well, it appears the decapitation part of the story has at least a lick of truth to it.
There is you two would also notice a deep crack, a gap within the in the rock, down to a deep catacomb. It's 60 feet down. It looks like, as well. It's you can't see anything in the darkness though.
You
Alright.
reckon that's where they toss them heads?
Yeah, decapitated bodies, check. Giant hole to throw the heads into, check. Theoretical dungeon below us, check.
Is there anything by those vines and weeds? Is it like, is there anything past those, or is it just like the cliff face?
Yeah, it's
Or-
just kind of that's just kind of the end of it there. Yep.
Okay. I do want to kind of just hack at it with my Bowie knife just to see if there's anything hidden in there.
Like the weeds and whatnot.
Yeah, just I don't know how big of a tangle it is, but
Yeah, just give me like a roll with that.
okay.
It seems there's a good mess of them here. As you swipe at them, and you go for a little bit, it just doesn't look like there's anything here.
Okay.
Kind of overgrown. Yep.
The Reverend, you this is more your area of expertise, but you thinking we need to put these bodies to rest in some sort of way to let these spirits pass on, if in fact then there are spirits about?
If they're just restless, and Todd, am I under the impression we need to unite the heads and the bodies, or can we burn them individually and that would take care of it? Unless there's something else going on.
Yeah, not necessarily. More the latter. That yeah, if you just kind of destroy them. They don't necessarily have to be reunited, but yeah.
Well, these folks are long past a proper burial. I think this isn't really my area of expertise, but if we burn their bodies and we travel in there and burn the heads, that should take care of it, unless there's something else going on. Every situation's different.
Yeah, well, at the very least, I suppose these bodies don't deserve just be laying here as part of the scenery.
Well, kind of sounds like they were mildly racist bunch, but the
Yeah,
Lord forgives all,
I suppose.
as long as
Suppose
they're
that is.
repentant.
Suppose that is true. They did attack the Utes, I believe. The story went.
You got that bottle of moonshine, JT?
Absolutely.
Let's are these skeletons like in a place where we can move them?
Yeah.
Okay, let's how dry is the area around here? I don't particularly care to start a forest fire or anything like that.
There's a quick glance around, and you can find at least a spot that's a little bit more rock. And not so you'll be away from brush and anything like that.
We can make
Now-
a pyre, bring rocks, that kind of thing.
Yeah, and make sure to get every single bone. Don't miss any. Otherwise,
So don't take any bones.
No.
No,
We don't-
God damn, Uncle James, what the hell you want to do with some some bones?
I'm just kidding. Yeah, I guess.
yeah,
gather
so
'em up.
Yeah, so I guess we'll start. Yeah,
Yeah,
I guess
with
kind
the-
of building
with-
a little pile of brush and some stuff to kind of like, I guess make a fire to kind of start it up.
Yeah. So we'll gather all the bones together that we have here and give them a drink and then light them up.
Right. So you have something that tells. Do you have anything to determine damage from that fire? I guess it's fire, so it's gonna burn. But yeah, with the fire, that's fine. You get it together, and with all these bones, soaking them, lighting, whoosh, they go up in flames, igniting, catching immediately, and there is a hiss and a few snaps and cracks, crackles from the fire as the bones eventually catch. You can see that they definitely are beginning to take well, and the fire is definitely consuming them and starting to break them down.
At this point, what time of day / evening is it? Starting to get into the evening, or is it still?
I would say, so you guys were in the morning, you went and saw Heaston, probably mid-evening by now.
Okay.
And Todd doesn't sound like we need it, but page 127 in SWADE has fire
Thank
damage.
you. Yep, I was just about there.
Bonfire is 2d6. So
Okay.
yeah, so I mean, obviously we're making camp in the purified miners camp.
Well, are we doing that, or we need to find them the missing skulls?
Yeah.
I mean, if we're gonna keep going, I'd rather just kind of keep at it. Don't want to fall asleep and have a bunch of horse riding ghosts come upon us again, or not again, but come upon us.
I mean, after the piano,
Sleep,
is it even really a worry?
Sleep through another
Somehow I'm
another
more
supernatural event.
I'm more worried after the piano somehow.
Just make sure
Look,
Uncle
there's
James doesn't fall asleep.
nothing to tie yourself to.
Well, yeah, let's
Let's just go investigate this
Catacomb.
this cavern here and see if there's any way to even get down there very easily. Just see what we're up against here.
we'll feel real dumb if the heads are just right inside and we
Hey,
just
look, I can
stay
see
the
it.
night out. Yeah.
I have.
Give me well, JT and James, you kind of looked over there and you can tell it's a dark crevice that just, it looks pretty deep. It's tough to tell how deep the darkness consumes it.
Even with the owl goggles on, my kind of stick down there and check things out. It gives me basically gets rid of most of the darkness limitations.
Yeah, what's the range on it? Have a range?
I think it's just sight, but let me bring up the owl goggles here again. Oh, keep putting it in the chat. No illumination except for pitch blackness. Beyond 10 feet, it's -2. So I probably got to go down in there. So how dangerous?
So yeah, you look down there, and you look, and it does, like, the vision eventually. Your vision doesn't go far enough. It definitely
John's
goes past the range of your glasses.
John's gonna walk over to the bonfire that we have going, and I guess take like one of the pieces of wood or sticks or something that's in there, partially sticking out, that's on fire. It's like a makeshift torch sort of thing, and grab it, walk over to the cavern, and just kind of toss it down there to see if as it illuminates its way down, to see if that lets us see anything or get a gauge on how far down it might go.
Yeah, head over there, drop it, tumbles, and it illuminates, on its way down, illuminates kind of the walls, and it's wide enough that somebody could, wiggle their way down there, definitely, if you needed. But eventually it does hit. It does seem like it stops somewhere, and it's a good, give me anyone watching, give me a notice check. So, JT, you a man of science as well. You estimate this is a good 50, 60 feet down, just kind of watching it fall. Once it hits, you estimate that, and it sits down there, and it glows at the base of this canyon, little crevice area here. It doesn't shed a ton of light in the whole area. You just see a little bit of just kind of like lumps and things down there, but not specifics.
So
Now, I suppose the question is, do we want to try to destroy everything in that hole from above with some of that there dynamite, or we climbing down there?
Is it is it like a straight down hole, or has it got like some like slope?
It's
to
it's more vertical, yeah.
Okay.
Because it's like just a crack in the rock, like separated a little. So
Okay.
the edges are definitely a little bit rough, but doesn't look like it's scalable very well.
I've got the length of rope, 20 yards. It should be enough to get to the bottom, roughly. Are we drawing straws, or should we just send the man with the weird goggles?
If I remember right, JT, didn't you do something back at the bar with that Boo Boo or Bobo or whatever the hell that bird's name is, where you could see things?
Yeah, I could send Boobo down there. Absolutely.
I mean, he's an owl, right? I mean, owls can see at night, I suppose.
That's a good move. It's a good move. We can definitely do that. I don't even think I have to pay extra for sight. Yeah, so I just bring the basic one out, Todd. So it'll be 3 power points for me to be able to see through it,
Okay.
and it can go down there. I mean, clearly, if there's still a little bit of fire burning down there, it should be fine.
Yeah.
And if you want, we can swap out one of the skills to kind of make him a little better seeing in the dark. He already has a D4 notice, but you know what I mean. Kind of, you can customize the critter technically. So, and I can send him down there. So let me roll a weird science, make sure I can pull it off. And I can. So 3 power points. Okay, you want a notice check from him, or
Yeah, if that's your intention, you kind of see through him, right?
yeah,
that's
so
what you're
I'm paying
doing?
the extra point to see through him. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Go ahead.
Now, is that your notice then, or his, since you're seeing through him?
That's a good question, Todd.
I
It's
think
the
we
same
did.
as far as values are concerned, but
You would have the
wild
wild.
die. Yeah,
I would say yours. I think if we didn't,
because I'm the one interpreting what he sees.
exactly. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. No, you do yours.
Right? Oh, let's do.
That's why you got all
I'll
those
do one
bennies.
more.
That's why you
I'll
got
do
all
one
those
more.
bennies.
Yeah. So that's still a 3.
Um,
Wow.
Dang.
Are you able to spend again like that?
Oh,
Keep spending.
yeah, I'm not sure how
can
that
ya?
works.
Double down. All in.
It's still a fail, regardless. Unless you want that crit. If you want that crit, you can give me back a Benny and you can take the crit. I'll look it up real quick in SWADE here.
Yeah, I was just trying to find.
Yeah, just all right. Give me the Benny
Reroll.
back.
Some
Let's take
edges
the
allowed.
fail.
You may keep any other totals generated. So worse.
Nope. The only exception is a critical failure.
Critical
That's the
failure. So
exception.
that. Yeah. That.
Yep. So give me back the Benny and tell me how this goes terribly. Yep, there we go. I changed it back to the crit. Not that it really matters, but
Um. This isn't an infernal device, is it? Ally? Like you can.
well, it's technically a power. But the weird science didn't fail, just the notice check.
Okay,
Yeah,
you're
so say
right.
it.
Yeah, you're right. Okay.
Say it.
So. Yeah, you just look around and you're trying to look through this, and Bupo is just not helping you out in his flight path, and I guess for that, really, I mean, there's not really anything bad that happens other than you just don't see anything for whatever reason. Bupo does not cooperate.
Okay. Well, gentlemen, I cannot make heads or tails of anything down there. Must
Well,
be something wrong with the goggles. I can't see.
let's I suppose there's nothing left to do but go down there ourselves.
I love how John's perfect solution turned into not a solution at all.
Yeah.
It's a good try, but just yeah, dice weren't there. Rough.
Does somebody else want to take the lead on this, or we can send Mr. High Toughness down? That's fine too.
Well, if we've just got a crevice too, I don't think we're gonna all be going down there. It's gonna be like one person probably going down. See if they find the skulls and grabbing them.
Oh, at least one to start with. I can go down first. Someone gives me a lantern.
Don't forget you have liquid courage too, sir.
All right. Well, tie off the rope. Give me a lantern and I'll go down.
Yeah, we'll try to find like a, I don't know, like a rock or a tree or anything, I guess maybe nearby that we can use to kind of help anchor the rope besides just us holding it.
Yeah, you see something that'll help out.
Okay.
Yep.
And we'll
Yeah, I
just-
think, I mean, we just set up like a basic pulley and, you know, set him down.
Yeah.
yeah, we'll tie the
Hey,
other
get-
end around the Reverend.
I hate to do this right now, but I have had to pee for the last hour and a half, so I'm gonna go do that, and I'll be right back.
All right.
All right,
Sorry.
we'll toss you down the hole. There's kind of a cool artwork on in the blessed section there on page 56. The Reverend shooting some kind of zombie. I do like the artwork they have in
Wade?
the book overall. Oh, in the Deadlands book.
Yeah. So
All right, sorry about that. I'm back.
good. Yeah.
What do I need to roll?
Artwork's amazing. So, I would say probably athletics.
Now, since we're like holding, or I guess kind of holding the rope to lower him down, are we assisting in any way? Not that he needs it, 'cause you just
You
Raise it
guys are just
anyway.
kind of holding it. It's more him, like, scaling down, making sure he holds on well enough, not slips or things like that, which he does very well. You grip tightly and you find just enough footholds to help out your descent, and you eventually, get down there. You said you took a lantern, right?
Yeah, I mean, if someone gives me one, I
Yeah,
will.
I think JT did. Yeah, so
Yeah.
so it as it shakes as you climb down, the shadows flicker and move as you go down, and it's pretty tight at some spots. I mean, this is definitely a tight crevice here. You do eventually get to the base of it, just about at the end of the rope, and plop down, and you do see immediately. You see the stick that was thrown down, that's still like smoldering at this point, and then as you do a look around, settled in some dust and dirt, you do see a number of skulls.
Oh, anything else around? Is it just the skulls down here?
Yep, looks like the skulls.
Should have brought the freaking moonshine with me. Can y'all hear me up there? Hear me up? Hear me up?
I was saying it's only 60 feet through a rock. It would probably travel fairly far.
Yeah.
Or, well, the sound. Yeah. What do you see down there, Reverend?
I found some skulls here. I'm gonna untie the rope. Send me down the moonshine. I swear to God, if something comes while I'm down here by myself with no rope, send the moonshine down. So I'll untie the rope and let them pull it up.
All right, so we'll pull the rope up, I guess, and tie the end around a bottle of moonshine and lower it down.
As you pull the rope up and you turn and you're JT, you're handing over bottles, putting them, however, assembling them in a pouch or whatever, and then something just catches out of your eye in the distance, kind of back where you came in, and you guys look up and you see this massive dark figure, this horse, this evil looking darkness, just kind of shadow rolling out of its orifices, and on it a body that, as Tyree kind of explained, the shadows just almost seem like they do mold together. But sure enough, it is a figure riding the horse, as dark as the horse itself. Also, just dark shadows, like almost a smoke coming out of it. And of course, the one detail that stands out is that it has no head. It takes a step forward, and behind it, you see a few others that stand there as well. And the front horse, rears up and lets out just a warbling shriek, and comes back down. And that's where we'll end tonight.
Oh, you all have fun up there.
Well, I'm still gonna lower the moonshine down. You can do your job while you're down there.
Yep. Fun thing is, if you all die and the Reverend's left down there, he won't die. He'll eventually just shut down. He'll be stuck down there forever. Fully conscious and aware of everything that's going on.
I need to deal with the devil to help out with that.
Yep. I'm sure
Uncle
that's
James,
coming.
This might be your moment to. Different deal with the devil. Okay.
Yeah.
I've got a. A demon lives inside of me.
So we'll pick up there. The horsemen, they're not like on top of you. They're kind of in the distance of this trail, but they've worked their way up somehow, knowing that you guys had to go through this tight walkway, but it's opened up enough, and they've kind of entered in there and seemingly have came upon those that have disturbed parts of their past.
We're actually helping them out. They should be happy, right?
You'd think.
All right, well, good session, guys. We will the owl use earlier with Max, that was amazing. That was
Great.
That was good use there too. So, and good stuff off the bat. So yeah, good stuff. We'll be back in another couple weeks. So
All right. Sounds good.
all right, guys. Later.
See y'all then.
See ya.